as is her nature. Arena Sabalenka's 4-1, Goff 6-1, Rybakina 8-1, and Andreeva and Zhang 10-1. How would you price Iga to win the French, given her form issues?
I mean, 175 is insane.
Yep.
It's insane. I honestly, the idea that she's going to be able to put together 7 clean matches and have none of the issues that we've seen pop up randomly, which can come from as little as sort of here. I'm speculating here, but what it felt like what derailed her in Melbourne from winning that title was the double bounce controversy on a meaningless point in a complete blowout of Emma Navarro. And it was just the air of that one little bit of a distraction was enough to really kind of take her out of her game for that semifinal match. And you can't tell me that there's not something going on mentally when that sort of thing happens. And I think ultimately she is the most confident and the most comfortable on that clay at Roland Garros, but the margin between her and the rest of the field is not the gap it used to be at all. And I think 175 as a price right now is fine if you're just trying to play a little bit of defense. If you're the book, if you're like, well, same story as every year, just like Nadal always used to come in here and you could never make him short enough shot to win this tournament. Well, guess what? Nadal was playing best of 5 tennis, Jay, and this is best of 3. Just the slight little bit of chaos that can ensue from the shorter format is enough for me to say this is an insane price. She should not be in the Nadal range, even as good of an experience as we've seen, which means now is the time to take on some comers. And I think we mentioned Zhang Xinwen. I think she is a threat. She is right now 10-1, which is not a super appetizing price. I think you wait for her to have a couple more dispassionate results, and then we get a Zhang price in the 20-25 to 1 ballpark would be my buy point. The other kind of clear and obvious name that stands out, Karolina Muchova. Muchova is really, really dangerous on that surface, and she is not putting up the results that's getting her ranking to the point where people are paying close attention to her as a threat. But once we get onto the clay cycle, she'll win a couple titles, I think, this year, and her number is going to get a lot shorter. And then lastly, we mentioned Mira Andreeva. I can see a world where her number gets a lot shorter too. This just might be her year where she breaks out and she finishes as a clear top 3 player in terms of rating and ranking. And if that's the case, then I can see her being sort of the beneficiary of a nice run at Roland Garros. If you told me, what tournament is Andreeva most likely to win between Roland Garros, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open, I would put the U.S. Open first, but it would be barely above Roland Garros and Wimbledon at distant third in terms of likelihood for her breakout slam this year.
Okay, I like it. I'm glad to hear that Iga is a bet against, as you said, at the comical price of -175. Not a fan of Iga Swiatek, Drew. 1, she's cost me a lot of money over the journey, which whatever is irrational and not her fault. But then 2, I don't think she's particularly a bastion of sportsmanship with the way that she carries on, and I'll never forgive her for changing her racket on championship point in the US Open final.